Welcome to the Four Brewers Podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I am joined by
Jason Harris,
Greg Nagel,
and Tim.
This week on the show, it's a show full of randos. We tried to structure something around Pure Project and Green Cheek because that's beers that I bought this week. And those beers aren't easy to find all over Southern California. So we just decided to go with a bunch of random local-ish beers, which is always fun. Before we start the show, we have a new review on Apple Podcasts. And this is from listener Jason Hizzy. And it says, this is a review. Give us 5 stars, which is what you all should always do. Some would say the beer is the star of this show. Others would say, how about Jason? You want to read this review?
Okay.
Read it. How do you think Jason Hizzy would say it?
Some would say the beer is the star of this show. Others would say it's the accents. But I would say it's the comedy stylings of Jason Harris that really hold this whole show together. Oh, what a guy, that Jason Harris. If I saw him in public, I'd buy him a beer.
See, that's a stellar review. I mean, it's a
like
little,
a cool guy. Yeah.
It's a little heavy on the Jason love.
I think it's
fine.
Accurate for my contributions.
I'd go for accuracy on that.
But that's a well-made review. I would say it's 5 stars. It's concise and to the point, and showing love for just one person on the show. So, and that's fine. So, Jason, Hizzy, whoever you are, thank you for the review.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow a boy band, you got to have your favorite.
That's true.
Or like a boy band.
You don't see girls on NSYNC message boards just being like, I like them all equally.
My love goes to you all equally.
Because I go to message boards for boy bands all the time.
Yeah. It's where else would I hang out?
So thanks to Jason Hizzy for that awesome 5-star review. And just a reminder, if you do leave a review for us on Apple Podcasts, it does help us with our rankings in the Apple Podcast app and our rankings overall with all of the podcasts in the iTunes directory, or I guess podcast directory at this point. iTunes is somewhat deadish. So, and before we move into the beers, we also want to talk briefly about something that Bootleggers started. Bootleggers Brewery out of Fullerton. As everyone's well aware, this show is coming out probably in the future, and hopefully we're a bit beyond this at this point. But hopefully the program they started keeps going. Everything's locked back down again in California for COVID. We're in the purple area of the new, I guess, stage thing they made. I don't know. It's a big mess, but everything's basically locked down for outdoor dining, except for San Diego right now, who a strip club sued the local government, and the judge ruled that San Diego strip clubs can open and serve food, and that means restaurants can open too. So that's a thing. But everybody else in Southern California is closed. And so Bootleggers decided to start this program called Feed the Furloughed. Furloughed meaning you've been sent home from your job. It doesn't mean you don't have a job. It means you've just been sent home and there's no work for you. But this program applies to anyone who just needs a meal. And basically what they're doing is they're giving people food for free. Bootleggers started a food truck, I want to say 6 months ago or so.
About that.
Because they, breweries were allowed to open with food back then. And so Aaron got to thinking, and
smart businessman.
Yeah, Aaron and Patricia both like, let's buy a food truck and serve our own food instead of having to invite people to, come down with their own food trucks, which I'm sure they're still in support of, but why not use this as an opportunity to start something new? And so they did. And on this recent shutdown, they kept the food truck going and started this portion of their website where you can donate to buy meals. It's $10 per meal. You can donate as much as you want. We've donated 20 so far. And like I said, if you go to the website, you can donate, and you can also get information on getting food. Like if you just go to the brewery and say, I need a meal, they will give you a meal for free, which is really, really cool. And along with that, El Segundo Brewing Company, they recently opened a pizza restaurant called The Slice and Pint. And they got on board with this as well. And Bootleggers went and just made a website for both of them called feedthefurloughed.com. And we'll have links to this in our show notes. And I think if you go to the website, it looks like they're planning on more breweries getting on board with this, which I think is really cool. because El Segundo is in El Segundo, California, which is pretty far away from Fullerton. So if you get one website with breweries all over Southern California that are offering this, that's really cool. And you can just
That's a movement. Yeah.
Yeah, you can donate to all the breweries, and we bought 10 meals for the Slice and Pint as well. So we're going to encourage our listeners to do that if you're in the Southern California area. I mean, if you're out of Southern California, you can still do it. But I mean, this is us helping our community, and I think that's a very worthwhile cause. And it's really cool that Aaron and Patricia started this Feed the Furloughed program. I think it's a really cool way to get people resources that they need, because right now people that are out of work, it's people are struggling to get food. It sounds weird because all of us on the show still have pretty steady income and we're doing fine and we can go to the store, but there's people that aren't as fortunate, and just to have a hot meal every day is something that's hard to come by for a lot of people right now.
Well, and I would just say that even on a normal day, food insecurity is still a big problem, especially in like Los Angeles County. So even now more than ever, it's super important. And I'm really excited to see these breweries coming on and kind of getting involved. I know a lot of bars and restaurants up here in my neck of the woods that are kind of helping provide meals for restaurant workers and things like that. And so it's good to see that cause kind of expanding out and growing.
Yeah, beer is community, and what a better way to show your support for your community than to keep your doors shut so people aren't swarming your brewery and eating and drinking on site, and B, you're feeding the community. Like you're doing a double positive, and it's such a cool thing to see.
Right. And so we were talking about this before the show. Like I said, we've donated close to $400 this month alone just to local causes, whether it be like the Feed the Furloughed cause or just breweries that have like a tip jar open for their employees. I think Indie Brewing Company has a tip jar on their website, and I think Bottle Logic has one as well, where you can just donate money to the tip jar and it goes straight to the employees. And that's what we're contributing to. And it's been a weird year. And if you're a patron, we say you get a free glass every year. And this year we haven't even, it's always my responsibility, and I haven't even done anything for the glasses. And it's not that we don't have the money to do it. We have the money. But we decided this year, we're going to, instead of making the glass this year, we're going to take that money that we'd usually spend, which is between like $300 and $500 per year to give patrons their glasses for free. We're going to give that money instead to breweries that are doing programs like this, whether it's helping people that need food or helping their employees outright. And to make it up to our patrons next year, probably within the first third of next year, we're just going to go, I don't want to say all out, but we're going to buy Teku glasses for our patrons this year, because they're one of the most expensive glasses to get made. They're literally 3 to 4 times more than the regular glasses we buy at, the wholesale cost that we buy them at. And we're going to get some cool artwork made. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm not an artist. We'll figure something out.
Email us with what IP you want us to steal. Do you guys want Mega Man? Do you want Super Mario?
I want Kermit the Frog.
Sonic the Hedgehog? Do you want a Muppet?
All the Muppets.
Do we want to poke the Disney bear? What IP should we steal?
So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And hopefully our patrons are all on board with that. I don't see why that would be an issue. Otherwise, there's only 2 weeks left in the year anyway, so we wouldn't get glasses made this year anyway. And I think it's a good way to spend the money that we bring in a positive way for our local community. So next year, Teku glasses. Maybe we'll do some other cool stuff too, because we've been pretty steady with our income from Patreon, and we're very, very thankful for that. So thank you, patrons.
Nice. Thank you.
John pointed out we use the money you guys give us to fund us being able to go to stuff and do events and stuff, and we don't go anywhere. So, yeah. Beyond paying for the show costs, we also use it, when we do the trips and stuff like that. The Patreon really helps with that, and
yeah, and so we're not doing those things, so why not just give it to good causes that can actually use our money for some good things? So
Excellent.
All right, moving on to the show. Jason, you've got a lot of beers here. Like I see 8 beers.
Yeah, I just
Why are you
felt
drinking
like
too much, buddy? Are you okay?
No, I just felt like nobody else had entered in the thing. Everybody was like, I already bought my beers, so we're all filling out our little tracker thingy, and nobody else has filled it out but me. So then I was like, I don't know, I'll just wait and see what everyone else gets, and then I can kind of like matchy and see if there's stuff that mixes in.
Yeah.
But I only have like one beer that almost matches Tim's.
Almost matches.
It looks almost identical. Look at it.
East Brother Beer
Oh,
Company.
East. Yeah, is that the name of the brewery, East Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jason
Tim
has
have
the
the
red
beer?
lager, and Tim, I don't know if he's going to open it right now, but he's got the Fest beer, I believe.
Yep. The canned on September 8th Fest beer. So we'll see how that holds up.
It'll probably be fine.
It'll probably be fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little Christmas elf by the name of Evan Price deliver beers to my front porch.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Because he lives 2 blocks over.
Nice.
And one of them is a fruiter aged and bottle conditioned old school white ale with white tea and orange flowers called the Game of Telephone. And it says to drink extremely cold because it's very effervescent. And I want to definitely open that up first so it doesn't get any warmer and explode all over my computer. So
Okay.
here's to Evan.
If you're in the live stream, you can see all the beers that Evan brought over for Greg.
Oh shit.
Oh no! Oh no!
I mean, he was like, yeah, it's very effervescent. Anyway, really casually open it. Oh, God.
It's great how Greg's camera follows him too. That's perfect.
Oh, that's pretty rad, yeah.
It's literally just yeah.
That-
It smells really good in here.
That camera would be perfect for like hands-free butthole showing. Like you just gape your beehole.
Hi everybody.
and-
Hi everybody. My
Yeah.
hands are all wet with beer. Thanks,
That's like
Evan.
a great feature
I see
for
what you did there.
what is it? OnlyFans or whatever.
That's right. Right.
Well, you get to see how dirty my house is because we're in the middle of ripping our bathroom out and we got all our plumbing redone.
Yeah, you repiped your whole house, right?
Yep. And then in the process, we found a completely cracked pipe in our shower. So the only way to fix it was to rip everything out of the shower of the entire bathroom and then redo the plumbing.
You got an
That's
old
where we're
house.
at.
Like literally, it's old. It's historic. So
Yeah, 1938. And the plumbing back there was literally from 1938.
So the reason I bought this beer is because it's just labeled as a red lager, and I'm just like, that's really not something you see.
yeah, the
But
branding on these cans, it's very simple. It's like 2 colors, maybe 3. Solid color background with a lot of typography on the label. And Tim, like I said, you have the Fest beer. Are you going to open that right now?
I unfortunately already poured a different one.
Oh, what'd you pour?
So the first one I picked up a Crown and Hops Beet Messenger Pilsner.
Okay.
I haven't had anything from Crown and Hops yet. So I decided to check it out. It was on the single shelf at the beer shop when I was looking for our green cheek and pure. So thought it was interesting, something I had had before, and Pilsners are always good.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot from Crowns and Hops in my neck of the woods. I've seen one beer, the 3 Trail Pills, and that's pretty much it. So I mean, they're slowly, amping up their distribution, but yeah, it's still hard to find out here in the IE. Greg, that bottle is still going. You need like a bowl to put it in or something?
Greg's just gooshing everywhere.
Oh, he's muted. You're still muted, buddy. He can't turn the mic on and hold the beer in his hand.
He's
It's literally just like slowly gushing out like those like 4th of July snakes.
The snake.
I
yeah.
love that Evan probably knew it was that carbonated, and he's like, "Yeah, you want to be careful. It's a little effervescent." That I can totally
it says it on
see
the
him.
bottle. Yeah, it says my carbonation level is very high, so get me super cold before opening. I mean, it was extremely cold when I opened it. So
Okay, nice.
very
you-
festive.
At least
You
it
guys
came
did
with a warning.
this red lager is fucking solid. It's just got like a little bit of that caramelly sweetness, enough to make it kind of a pleasantly sweet on the palate, but like a nice bread, like very like eating like a rye bread kind of thing, kind of vibe. This is very much the people call beer liquid bread. This is very much that. Super, super good beer. Not normally a style I would buy a lot of, but really good.
I don't feel like you see a lot of red ales these days.
No.
Or red ales.
This is a lager, yeah.
Or a red lager, sorry.
I don't know when's the last time I had a red lager.
Yeah, it's good though. It's
Red
like
lager
really
is even more kind of like beer nerdy. You know what I mean?
Does it say what kind of malt it uses?
Yeah, actually it has a list on the side. Vienna style amber with biscuit. Oh, never mind. Biscuity malt. Vienna style, not necessarily Vienna malt. Beer is labor. That's what it says on the side.
It's not easy to make, and it does require labor.
I was in labor for 26 hours to birth this one.
So like I said, I bought this week beers from Green Cheek and from Pure Project. Pure Project is one of the breweries that actually have a tip jar, I think. Actually, no, they don't have a tip jar. That's Indie Brewing Company. I bought beers from Indie too. I bought a lot of beer this week. So Pure Project, I haven't really seen their beers a whole lot up here. I've had them a couple times at different bars and whatnot, but I haven't really had anything memorable. So I bought like the gambit. I bought some lighter stuff, some hazy stuff, some West Coast stuff, and the first one I'm opening up is a Pilsner called Rain. This is, I believe, 5.3%. And they do not give ingredients on this, but yeah.
You know what that reminds me of is like the it's just the label is just blue with like a little yellow pictograph of like kind of a water droplet and like a hop and or leaves maybe.
It looks more like a grain.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's very abstract, but it just says Rain, unfiltered Pilsner. And in my head, I'm thinking of those. Do you remember those Snapple Elements?
No.
Mm-mm.
They were like a very 90s beverage thing where let me bust out the shared screen. This is going to be totally worth the derail. Yeah, they had these like Snapple Elements drinks, and they were just
nifty.
They were just fruit juice, but they came in these fancy glass bottles, and it was earth, rain, sun, and fire.
That seems vaguely familiar now that I see it.
The rain one was like some sort of like peach something, or like a pear. It was like a really light fruit drink, but I remember loving those fucking things. So that's honestly probably why I went there.
Interesting. Well, this is, this is unfiltered. It looks like it's got a little bit of haze on it. It's not like a hazy Pilsner. It's not hoppy, or there's no candy thing going on here, but just a straight up really tasty Pilsner. Got just the perfect amount of bitterness on it to cut through the nice fluffy mouthfeel from the malts. And yeah, it's just a crushable. I mean, it sounds boring to describe a beer like that, but the more you drink of these Pilsners and light lagers, I mean, the more that term crushable becomes like defined. And that's what this is. It's a really drinkable, tasty beer. It's more on the malt edge, I think, of things. It's got like a nice malt sweetness to it. But like I said, that bitterness on the back end cleans all that up.
This is my first foeder beer that I've had from Green Cheek that they've made. I think they've done collabs with like Taru that I've had before that have been really tasty, but this is really interesting. It kind of drinks like mimosa. It's got little hints of sweet tart and orange flower, and it's very like cocktailish.
How's the carbonation on it?
It's just like gushing.
Yeah. Is it like really prickly on your tongue, or?
No, not at all. It sort of softens up. It is bottle conditioned. I think they just overprimed it or something.
Right.
Or I don't know if that was per design or what, but once you get down into the beer, it's still nice little, little bit of foam on top, but it drinks like it's sort of tart, and you get a little bit of oak in there, not a lot, but overall it's sort of like just mimosa-ish. Like, is a good breakfast beer. I would say highly recommend this with some French toast.
Yum. That sounds real good.
I would love to see. I really am excited to hear that Green Cheek is dipping into like foeder stuff, more mixed fermentation kind of stuff. Like would be awesome. Like I just love those beers, and I'd like to have more of them. And I know Green Cheek is one of the highest quality producers in Southern California, so like they're going to make great stuff in that space too.
I will say
maybe less carbonated on the next one.
Yeah, they did add white tea to it, which I'm not a huge tea fan in beer because it sort of overtakes the flavor, and it's like, wow, it's just a tea beer.
But some people would say kill white tea.
Kill white tea.
Kill all the white, man.
That, but in this beer, I think it's very well integrated. It adds a certain like aromatic to it that makes it very pleasant. It's not tea-like; it's more mimosa-ish.
Yeah, it says it's made with white tea and orange flower. So I don't know what orange flowers are.
It's the flower before the oranges are made.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like from the Orange Blossom Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
You can buy them at like spice stores. Will sell like rose water, orange water, lime water, stuff like that. And they're good for making cocktails like a Ramos Gin Fizz. I use orange flower instead of rose. And it just adds a little depth of flavor it just makes it good.
Nice.
This Beat Messenger, it's so I failed to mention it's a Pilsner brewed with noble hops, and they say AKA the OGs, and it is for sure kicking out that like noble hop character. It's got like a little bit. It's that sort of Pilsner that has the nice crisp bite, not like a hop bite, but that sort of like almost crispiness at the end after you get the noble flavors. It's really nice, very smooth. Definitely worth the random pickup.
Can we note for the non-video watchers that Tim's got like Audio Technica headphones. He's got like kind of one ear off, so he's got like a total DJ vibe going on right now.
And a Dodgers hat.
Yeah, I feel like the baseball cap really contributes to the DJ thing. You're just like, everyone out there make some noise.
I love it.
I'm happy that Crowns and Hops aren't necessarily going out there trying to make a bunch of hype beer. That I think the first beer they came out with was like a hazy, and I think at this point you have to have a hazy IPA. And I don't even think hazy IPA are hype beers anymore. It's just a standard style that breweries make. But they're not trying to like kind of 450 North with all of their drama and adding tons of fruit to their beer and making it something that is vaguely resembling beer. They're making very much styles that are still classic, but their own spin. And I really dig that. I think they're doing the right thing.
I could very much see a brewery chasing the hype crowd coming out with like hazy IPAs, fruited Berliner puree things, milkshakes, and pastry stouts, and just be like, here we go. That's what we do. So I appreciate breaking from that.
I would say I almost picked up they had a stout on the shelf right next to the Pilsner, so I'm not happy that I didn't get it because it would have been cool to have a couple from the same brewery. But I mean I don't want to derail too much, but I venture to ask the question, do you guys still think that the fruited hazies are still considered hype? Like I feel like I haven't kept up as best probably as well as you guys have, but I feel like that kind of fruity hazy hype died down a bit.
Maybe a little bit, but I stink. I still think they're more hype than like standard hazy IPA.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, still, when you look at even like Monkish, though, even they still make hazy IPA that is just normal hazy IPA, and they're still hype. So I mean, it depends on the brewery and the style, I guess.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I'm not clamoring to get every brewery's hazy IPA. But that being said, I'm not really chasing any style, like hype style at the moment. I'm just buying, especially right now, I'm buying what I can to support local breweries, no matter what the beer style is.
Exactly.
Speaking of hazies, my next beer is a hazy pale ale from Fall Brewing Company, called this is for our Gen Xers out there. This is called This Is Not My Beautiful Wife.
Talking Heads.
The can label is awesome. It's like this weird shimmering wolf in a it's like a wolf in a wedding dress, and it just looks really cool.
Yeah.
It says, "My God, what have I done?" in there, and then on the bottom, the little canning run thing says, "Same as it ever was." So for the Talking Heads fans in the crowd, which does not include me. I've never understood that band, but
yeah, I'm not a fan.
I thought it was a really cool looking fucking can, so I had to get it.
I
And
acknowledge the song in pop culture, like it's definitely part of American music culture, definitely, but I don't care about the band.
Yeah, that was like MTV. That was an MTV jam that was like on full rotation back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
With the chopping his arm.
Me and my friend yesterday were talking about the genre of music specifically for LA that I call K-rock classics with a K. Like K-rock classics. There's like a dozen or so songs that K-rock is like, these are our hits, and we're gonna play them all the fucking time.
Anything by Sublime.
I don't practice Santeria.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like specifically though, Date Rape is like a K-rock classic. Like everybody plays.
How often do they play
Santeria.
Date Rape?
They play
I haven't
Date
heard
Rape
that
all
one.
the fucking time.
I would say Santeria is outplayed by far more.
At least
than
in
Date
my
Rape.
experience.
It would be like that Bananarama song is a K-rock classic. The anything Disconnected by Face to Face,
Oh,
K-rock
God.
classic.
I'm having flashbacks to the last time I listened to K-rock and
These
was
are
thinking,
K-rock
why are they still
classics.
playing the same? They've actually moved on now. They're playing more like that like pop, like punk rap stuff, like Lil whatever
I
rapper
saw somebody
name.
post on the internet. They're like, "Yeah, I couldn't share my Spotify, so I listened to the radio. What the fuck? The music."
That was Jeremy Dwayne.
Yeah.
Who works for their slogan's "Murder Your Thirst." That water
Liquid Death.
company.
Liquid Death.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm reading his post, just thinking, old man yelling at the clouds, and I'm like, dude, I have a phone full of thousands of songs. I can just push random, and I'm good to go. Like, and he's talking about going back to Pandora. And I'm like, okay,
What the hell?
I mean, sometimes it's the random radio. I think like I tend to do a lot of on Spotify. I don't even necessarily listen to bands that I like that much. I tend to find like, here's this sort of genre. Let's go to the radio or the playlist. I end up listening to just a lot of random new stuff because I'm not.
But that's what
necessarily
Spotify is really good at.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
well, Pandora was good at that before Spotify existed.
I pay for Spotify specifically because I like their discovery. Like
Yeah,
their
exactly.
discovery is so much better than, and YouTube Music sucks shit as an app.
Yeah.
They killed the Google Music app and they moved everyone to YouTube Music, and it's like this app kind of blows.
Apple Music still has a ways to go too. Like they're okay with that, but their algorithms don't compare at all.
Although Spotify is shit for podcasts. Holy crap, does it suck for podcasts?
They're spending a lot of money on buying podcasts and not putting a whole lot of development into the app itself to make it nice.
If I subscribe to a podcast and let's say it's got like 300 episodes, there's no way to just like mark them all listened and not have it queue them up. It'll just be like, okay, today's newest episode finished, and now we're going to queue up one from 9 months ago that, you already listened to because you haven't marked it red in the app yet. And I'm like, am I going to go do that individually for 300 fucking episodes of this show?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty bad for a company that's investing in podcasts.
And the cool thing about podcasts, though, is it's just an RSS feed. And if you don't like a certain application that subscribes to that RSS feed, you can find another one. I don't listen to podcasts through Apple's podcast app. I use Overcast because it's a far superior app that's dedicated solely to podcasts. That's all Marco Arment works on is that app.
I'm a big Pocket Cast fan.
You can't do that with Spotify. That's the problem with Spotify is that it's a closed ecosystem and you have to listen to their shows in their app for the most part.
Thankfully, the last podcast is Spotify exclusive, which sucks because it's my favorite podcast. But if you're in their Patreon, you get an RSS feed and it's commercial free.
Even better.
Well, that's great. I like that.
Yeah. So I pay for their Patreon and I get it in my app. In Pocket Cast.
That is a nice alternative. But it's still, what podcasts are at their core are, they're free. And I get it. Like if you can monetize on your podcast and charge people to listen to something
Order your Casper bed today for Brewers 20.
What's that?
Said, don't forget to order your Casper bed today. Promo code 4Brewers20.
My pillow.
Yes, we're gonna start hawking My Pillow.
Oh God. What if we made a pillow out of foam?
That was more of a visual joke than anything else. If you're listening to the audio stream.
Only a crackhead could think of such a brilliant idea.
I have moved on to my next beer. I'm jumping into a beer from Green Cheek, and this is Radiant Beauty, which I think is one of the best beers. One of the best IPAs in Southern California. This won a silver medal at the 2019 Great American Beer Festival, and in 2018, I think that says 2018, it got a silver at the World Beer Cup. So this is definitely a fantastic beer.
It's got the stamp of approval for sure.
It is one of my favorites too. Like like knowing that beer is available makes me think, when could I drive to Orange County?
So you can order it and get it sent to your house. So there you go.
What?
This beer is crystal clear, looks fantastic. It smells so like big grass, dankish notes, not quite like heavy, oily THC hoppy notes, but big grass, like just classic West Coast nose with a little bit of citrus on there, little bit of a grapefruit character. Smells fantastic. It's very sharp on the hoppy aroma.
I have not had many things from Green Cheek yet, but everything that I have had has been pretty fantastic.
You cannot go wrong with anything from Green Cheek.
I admittedly,
beer from them that was bad.
Get out of here. Go away.
Just one. But that's out of probably 30 beers I've had from them. I've had one that I didn't like.
Thanks, Jason, for raining on my parade.
As a lover of the visual side of the beer world, I love their branding. Their little toucan looking guy is so fun.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
Yeah,
is that his name?
His name is Cheeky.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That tracks. We're all just gonna go silent now. Like, oh yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll move on. I opened up a Green Cheek because I have all Green Cheek today. It's called Rough Translation. It's a Kolsch style ale or Kolsch style ale lager. I don't know. It's sort of a hybrid beer.
Kolsch is a hybrid, yeah. So you're right saying either thing.
I like the difference between our experiences going out, where Tim will be like, I got whatever is available at my cool local liquor. And then like me and John are like, we trekked out to this cool location in hopes of finding a good beer. And then Greg's like, I walked out my door and I tripped and fell and then found 45 really awesome local breweries that were just right here. So
yeah.
I started writing about beer in Orange County when there was like 2 breweries. So I
you
remember
got some connections.
Well.
Hopefully one day IE will be there. It's a long way to go.
you guys are all close to all of you're all close to so many good breweries. I mean, obviously Greg, but I mean,
Greg's close to a lot of good breweries.
Admittedly, like you guys, your drive to say like Green Cheek or something like that isn't nearly it's not that bad.
It's like 45, 50 minutes for me.
Yeah, it's not bad. It could be worse. Like it could be like going to a brewery in Culver City for me, which is a nightmare. Like that's
like if you guys want to do El Segundo again, that's cool with me.
No doubt.
Yeah,
dude, I always think you go to the Gundo.
So I saw you post about this beer on your Instagram, Greg, and you said it's a lot like having Sex and Canoe, except with Heidi Klum on the Rhine.
On the Rhine River. That was a joke. If you looked on Green Cheek's Facebook page, somebody was like 5.6 or 4.6. That's like Sex and the Canoe. Have you heard that old joke? It's like
I've hung out with somebody
or something. So I just added to it and added the bottom line because Heidi Klum is from Cologne, Germany, which is where Kolsch style Kolsch is born.
There's a tie-in.
And that's where the Rhine River goes between, I think, Dusseldorf and Cologne, which separates the 2 beer regions. And I just thought it was funny.
This is the smartest beer joke.
The joke is like a fucking ogre
I had to explain it to like 10.
Has so many
I had to
layers.
explain it to so many people on Instagram that just copied and pasted it, and I was like, "There you go." And they're like, "Oh."
I actually got the joke like in its entirety when I read it, and I was like,
Right,
"Okay,
yes.
well done, Greg."
Nice.
But
And
John
who doesn't
Holzer,
love-
do you understand Greg's post? Yes.
I mean, Heidi Klum is beautiful, and I mean, she's older, but you know, still has it going on, and the beer is great.
This whole fucking thing, Jesus Christ!
You could have just stopped.
All right. Anyway, Heidi Klum fan here. I used to watch Project Runway all the time.
Same here.
Dude, that was my favorite reality TV show. It was
I'm
so
good.
good.
It's not so good anymore, but
Yeah.
Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum, you know, that was such a good watch. But anyways, the beer is everything you'd expect out of a green cheek beer. There's definitely some really good, I would assume, German malts that are tied really well into whatever hop that they use. They don't list anything here, but it's a two-way street of malt and hops. It's very clean, very perfumey with floral, spicy hops. I would say more on the floral side, like rose petal-y. But just a straight up biscuit bomb. It's really good.
Cool.
German pale ale.
Jason, what are you moving on to, man?
I just cracked open a guava IPA from Pacific Plate. Pacific Plate is in the San Gabriel Valley, which
Shout out to
is
Hobby.
not a big beer region. There's only a handful of breweries out there. So yeah, this is India Pale Ale brewed with Ecuadorian mango puree. Wait, mango? It says
I
guava.
thought you said guava.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
I've been fucking tricked.
Hobby?
Yeah, why does it say mango? Look, I don't know. There's probably a good explanation
Copy
for
and
it, but I did really appreciate the label. Just a cool, like the pink and green, white, just very. It jumps out on the shelf for sure. So let's see.
I have a guava beer coming up as well from Green Cheek, but that's for later.
Oh, what?
Guava and Berlin.
The Berliner, yeah.
That's really good.
So it doesn't have a huge nose. Like normally a guava beer, I've had a guava IPA and it just kind of had that funkiness to it, which I like. Oh, there it is. It's that funkiness.
There's that stank.
Yeah.
I like real guavas. I wasn't a huge guava fan until the neighbor I have next door has like 5 different guava trees and different varieties. And some of them are like piney and sort of weird. And there's other ones that are like eating strawberries.
Interesting.
Yeah, the
no
thing
idea.
with guava and IPA is it keeps that like dankiness you get from hops. It's one of the one of those things that just the fruit complements a hoppy beer pretty well. I think grapefruit is another one of those flavors that I think, because grapefruit has that natural bitter, is one of those fruits that actually goes well in IPA before they just started being like, oh no, we put strawberries in it. But yeah, this actually works pretty well. I could use a little bit more aroma on it. I would like to see a better hoppy aroma on the beer, but the flavor is really solid.
Yeah, guava is a fruit in beer that I've been very vocal about guava on the show. I'm a fan of guava at this point. At first, I didn't enjoy its stank. It really does stand out in beer, but the more I think I forced myself to get into it because I think it works very, very well with beer. Where other fruits, it works well with beer, like orange works well with beer, depending on what style you use. It's a complement to beer, where guava, I think, is complementary, but also stands out enough to still be good without overpowering the beer itself. And I might as well just open this beer now. Like, I got this beer from Green Cheek, Power Jacket, and this is a Berliner made with guava. So I have no doubt the guava is going to be exploding out of the glass with aroma and on the flavor.
And what's crazy about that beer when they first released it was it had notes of guava without any guava added. It was just whatever their lacto culture and fermentation put out. It was really wild.
Really?
Quick little call out from Hop to LA in the chat. SGV, the San Gabriel Valley, actually has a pretty good sized beer community now. 22 breweries.
Holy
So
smokes.
I've been sleeping on them. Yeah, I know guys like Pacific Plate and Arrow Lodge are on my radar, but I gotta check out and see who else is hanging out over there. Because yeah, for people who aren't from Southern California, the San Gabriel Valley is community to the east of LA. It's Eastern LA County, kind of towards they're bordering us over here in the Inland Empire.
Oh wow. Okay. So, like I said, I opened Power Jacket from Green Cheek. It's an extra guava super Berliner, and they're not lying. This is 9% alcohol by volume.
Whoa!
Did not expect that. I thought that would be like a sessionable, like
the parrot on that label
Berliner.
looks like he's tweaking. He looks like he's just like, what?
Yeah.
So,
9%.
I would have saved this for last if I knew that. But here we are.
Good night, John.
What time is it? 12:50. Nice.
Nap time.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah,
it
this
looks cool.
beer is stinky, and wow, that's very, very hazy.
Pink Starburst status.
Looks very like peachy colored.
Yeah, it's peachy colored. Yeah, definitely, and it smells guava and peach. When you mention peach, yeah, there is a peach note to it.
Peach like the fruit, or peachy like the folder?
Like the folder,
fruit.
like it's like orange, like the peachy folder.
And it does not smell like paper. It smells like peaches. But
Nice.
This smells fantastic. Like you've got that again, the guava stank that I always talk about. Like it's a very stinky kind of farty fruit for me. That's what I get
Not to
from
be
it.
confused with Hoobastank.
But the malt character on this too is coming out as well, and it's giving it like a candy like aroma. The peach aroma is there too as well. This is a very, very good smelling beer.
What do you think about the ABV on it? Like, do you pick up any boozy?
Nope, it does not smell hot at all. Like the guava, if there is booze on this, the guava is completely dominating it. Like guava is a very like pungent fruit.
Oh,
Again,
absolutely.
and
Like going back to my neighbor's fruit, like when she brings over a bag, we have to store it outside because like it'll fill up the entire room. Like it's like a dog fart. Like you know what I mean? It's like
Wow.
space.
Okay, so this beer is super soft. It comes off lightly carbonated. Not to a fault though. Super soft. Man, very round. Not sharp at all. I thought I was going to get something very tart, and this is not tart at all. This is more my speed for a Berliner. This is really good. A lot of fruit notes on the flavor too. And the guava on the palate is not nearly as big as it is on the nose. This is very well done. Tastes a little bit like candy. I don't get any booze on the flavor as well. This is a very dangerous beer.
I'm gonna give them shit for calling it a Berliner because a Berliner should be like, I don't know, under 5%.
Yeah.
Well, they do call it a super
Berliner.
Berliner. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, remember back in the day when everybody would just make whatever style 9% and call it an imperial?
no doubt. It's an Imperial Berliner.
Das ist super Berliner.
It is 10 times more powerful than the American Berliner.
I will say that if you're a fan of guava and tart beers, this is definitely worth picking up. It's not like going to strip your palate like with the tartness. It's not like a very puckery beer, but it's just enough to let you know that it's a Berliner, and you get to experience those different peachy guava aromas and flavors. It's very,
Can
very
you drink
good.
more than one?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
It's not taxing at all. It's
Okay.
very
Really
good. Should you drink more than one at 9%? No.
I
But-
mean, you could share it with a buddy.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh, I can only have one glass because now I'm fatigued. It's not like that at all. It's
Okay.
very good.
Because yeah, on paper it sounds to me like I'd get about halfway done and be like, "Ooh, my gut's a little like hurting or something."
No, like I said, the malt character, I think, works very well. It comes off like some kind of like a candy. I don't know, it's a bit bready. It's full. It's got a big mouthfeel, but it's not super tart, and it's not going to like affect your stomach a lot. Like you won't need any antacid or anything. So,
All right. So Evan told me to shake this one. I don't know if he was joking.
He's fucking with you, man. He's trying to get your carpet messed up.
Destroy your fucking floor.
So this is you spelled my name wrong. It's a winter spiced latte on nitro. He said,
You think you would have learned your lesson the first time around, buddy?
well, it's
I know,
with
like-
these nitro canned beers, typically
Oh,
you
shit.
should.
Still exploded on me. God damn
Evan
it.
got you again.
You go pee on his front porch.
You just paid the Evan price.
Wow. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's one of those like I would assume it's a it's got some lactose and other fun stuff in there, but yeah, I don't have you had a nitro beer from Green Cheek before? It's kind of
I have
canned
not.
nitro beers. Wow.
I
It's
mean,
got a nice-
I have at the brewery, but not in a can.
Okay, it's got a nice 2 fingers ahead, which is sort of impressive for something that's been canned. It's sort of orangish. I wouldn't say. I mean, going back to like naughty sauce is like a base. It's sort of along those vibes as far as color goes, and the spice level.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
they
big on
say
spice beers.
it's a winter spiced latte ale on nitro. Do you get a lot of like latte, like coffee-ish notes? Are they trying to go for that that coffee, like light colored but dark smelling coffee beer kind of vibe?
Absolutely, it's definitely like a Starbucks, one of those like lattes that has, I don't know, winter spice stuff in it. I don't even
Right.
know, not like pepperminty, but
Like cinnamony or
it's cinnamony and like a Vietnamese cinnamon. It's more of on the brighter side, not like
okay.
a spicy side. I think it's very well integrated, but not my style of beer. Very delicious if you're into those big lactose kind of sweet and sticky
Right.
bones.
Yeah.
So I have my next beer, and I decided I've been talking a lot of shit. I should drink what the kids are into. So this is intellectual. It is a Smackers, which looks like the Smuckers logo. Peach, mango, guava, goza. It says drink fresh, roll can. I
Well,
assume
you want to get all the
it-
sediment.
all the
Yep.
shenanigans into it.
You want to get those puree.
I'm real nervous, guys.
Roll the can.
A Creative Creature Brewing Company. I don't know where they're from.
Was this
or
a Tavor buy?
no, I got this at the store.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. They're from El Cajon. So El Cajon,
Okay.
California, San Diego area for non-locals. I feel like this thing's gonna explode on me. I don't know. I'm fucking real nervous.
Just go for it.
Who knew we would have gushers today?
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, it didn't blow up.
All right, good.
It smells like fruit.
Smells like fruit.
Looks like fruit,
it-
smells like
it's
fruit, must be
thick.
fruit.
Like it is thick and chunky.
Yeah.
Oh man, my
Do you see
toe, my
Cody in
gout
there?
toe is throbbing just looking at that.
Oh man, it is. Yeah,
He's regretting this
it's
choice.
milky, dude. It looks kind of like orange juice.
It looks like a homebrew dude just came up and went, "Hey man, try this."
It's really. It smells just sugar.
It looks like it's going to be a difficult
Snackers.
thing to drink.
Yeah, it's real sweet, guys. It really is just like one of those like Kern's juice cans.
Oh
It just-
man.
Ooh.
It's just juice.
So how do they keep that from re-fermenting in the can, or do they?
It does say keep cold on the outside, so that's probably how.
I mean, it's that 450 North situation, right? Where it's like, you must keep this cold. And if you do not keep it cold, it's your fault that it blew up. I mean, which
Yeah.
is a cop out.
It just tastes like fruit juice. I mean, I feel like if I put some liquor in this, it'd be good.
The one way to stop it is to pasteurize it, but I doubt these little breweries have the money to buy the equipment to pasteurize their products. I mean,
I have an idea. I'll be right back. You guys do show without me.
Talk amongst ourselves.
I guess I can give I moved on to the East Brother that I have. So this is their Fest beer. It's East Brother Beer Co. They're out of Richmond, California, so Northern California. Fest beer, Oktoberfest, all those are always in my wheelhouse, things I tend to love. And admittedly, I was shopping the discount single shelf because it was readily available and away from people. Cool. And this happened to be on there. And I'd never heard of East Brothers, and I love Fest beers, so I thought I'd pick it up. Celebratory Bavarian style lager, and it looks exactly like what you'd expect. That nice sort of copper feel, very, very malty.
It's funny that you and Jason both picked up a beer from this brewery that I've never heard of.
I've never heard of them. Yeah,
that's bizarre.
Yeah, exactly. How bizarre.
And where are they from again? Richmond.
Yeah. Where's Richmond by?
That's up in NorCal, I believe.
Okay.
Like NorCal.
NorCal. Northern California.
Where the cows moo.
Wait, no, I'm totally wrong. I'm 110% wrong.
They're in San Diego.
The Bay Area.
Oh.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Shit, I thought it was higher. Anyway, I never heard of them before, and I don't know. I thought it was very simple, cool label, and like I said, Fest beers are kind of in my wheelhouse, so pick it up. It's got a really nice, subtle, sweet and malty flavor. I'd say it's kind of just in line with what you'd expect. Nice little bite. Pretty straightforward.
Does it smell, or does it come off old? Because you said it was canned in September. I don't think it would.
No, it's not. I don't know. I was thinking like, I don't know how well, sort of seasonal Fest beers hold up, but
it's still pretty fresh, like being 3 months old. Like I doubt you're going to, I mean, if it was 6 months old, then maybe not, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's held up. It's definitely held up. So it's appeasing my desire for missing out on all the Oktoberfests.
Nothing wrong with drinking Fest beer in December. I mean,
I was looking at
do whatever you want.
I was looking at breweries that are complying with the stay at home and only doing to go and stuff like that. And one of those was Golden Road here in Anaheim, and they have a Fest beer that they did a collab with Spaten. And they're doing, I think it's $7 for a 6-pack. I'm like, I may go buy some Golden Road today.
That's interesting. Really,
when you got that AB money, you can collab with whoever you want.
Yes,
well,
yeah.
Spaten is also AB.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean,
that's awesome. Same here.
Oktoberfest. So
is it from the local Golden Road? Is it from that one, or is it just Golden Road?
I don't know. And they also have a Ruth Bader Ginsburg inspired Bach ale that they put out today. So I'm like, I could go for a Bach as well.
Hey, there you go. You got your whole day planned.
Are they not doing outdoor anything? Are they complying?
They just have a drive-through, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah. After I picked these up, I went and checked the grams for all of my breweries, and as far as I can tell, everybody seems to be on the up and up.
Oh yeah, just a quick note for anybody who's an hour into our show. Yeah, I'm not going to call out the fucking dipshit breweries who are like, we're just staying open, wink. Or like, oh, you could come on our patio and get to-go beer.
No.
Fuck you. Like,
it's a weird, very difficult situation right now because, like I said earlier in the show, San Diego technically is allowed to serve outdoors.
I saw some like reporters like iPhone footage of them walking into a pizza place, and I just felt so like skeezed out. Like I felt physically uncomfortable with the amount of people that were sitting at the bar and hanging out in there, just not a mask in sight. And I was just like, oh fuck.
To clarify, San Diego is open for indoor and outdoor dining. Us as a show, like we have our private chat where all of us are pretty much on the same wavelength with this whole thing. Like if you're going to break the rules, then fuck you. But then you look at San Diego, where technically a judge said you can break the rules, and these businesses are so desperate to bring in money, that they're like, okay, outdoor dining is now open. And so we're in this weird predicament where north of San Diego, it's not allowed, where in San Diego it is allowed. And it's just, it puts everybody in a weird situation. And for me personally, what it comes down to is I don't care if you are complying. Oh, I shouldn't say that. If you're complying with the local regulations like San Diego's doing and you're open for outdoor, I'm still not going to go. If you're breaking the rules in the IE or in LA or Orange County, then that makes you look even worse to me. And I'm still not going to go. But I'm also going to write you off, because if you're going to be defiant just to be defiant, I don't appreciate that, because you're not helping the stop.
They're making it worse for everybody, and for all the people who are actually going through a tough time right now and actually following the rules. They're like, yeah, we're going to make the pandemic worse and get some people killed. But man, we made a few $100 this week. So like, fuck off.
Like, have to furlough so many employees and stuff like that. I mean, if you follow my Instagram in early December, you'll see, I put up a poll, and it was very interesting.
That was surprising to see that it was literally like 50-50.
50-50. But
you have the biggest following on IG than all of us. You have like 13,000 followers on Instagram.
There was 800 votes.
Yeah, split 50-50 out of 800 people, and that kind of blew my mind.
Well, and the question was whether or not you would basically if you would support a brewery that's breaking the rules in the future.
Yeah, and I got some really good replies from people, like thoughtful responses and things I never thought of and stuff like that. Like, there's a difference between somebody who's saying, fuck you, Gavin Newsom, than somebody who's like, if I don't open for outdoor because my neighbor is, I'm going to go out of business. And that's literally what's happening. And it breaks my heart. Like, people have to.
That's the problem. And that's, again, we're not going to get too deep into this, but it goes into, local and federal government not giving
nobody gives a shit about the people.
Yeah.
I've seen a very common thread with the people that are posting on social media. They're all of a certain political bent.
Sure.
And it is not just them being like, oh, gee, I'm not going to make my mortgage next month. It's them just being fucking like, F this. The virus is a liberal hoax. I'm going to fucking do what I want to do.
Right. But there's breweries like Bagby. Bagby has been one of the, I think, the most cautious breweries out there, really trying to adapt to everything, going out of their way to be safe. I think if you're going to go to any brewery in Southern California, Bagby is the one to go to, because they're really thoughtful about everything they're doing right now during the pandemic. And even them, like when the judge in San Diego ruled that these places could open, Bagby opened for outdoor dining, and of course they're stressing how safe they're going to be and whatnot, and I appreciate that. But
I think they just closed again.
Yeah, I just when you mentioned it,
they're just like, no,
really,
it's not worth. Because here's the thing: once you allow it, then you get the worst people coming in, and they don't obey. And it's like, how do you protect your employees and your employees are your family, really? And
see, like I said, Bagby has been very thoughtful about this, and so if they're closing again, that sucks for them, but I'm happy. That just reinforces my point. It's like, are you going to open to bring money in and pay your employees, or are you opening to defy the rules just to defy them? And it puts breweries in a tough spot, and I feel for them. But like Jason said, the breweries that are being defiant just to be like, fuck Gavin Newsom and fuck this whole thing, this is stupid, I am not down for that at all.
Same. So, you can fuck off.
I'm glad Bagby did that, because when I think it was earlier this morning or yesterday, maybe, they're like, we're open for outdoor dining, but we're being very safe. And I'm just like, God damn it. Like, that just, everything I've been preaching about online just got thrown out the window because
it's hard, man. Like,
and now that they're going back on that, I'm like, okay, good. They realize that the people that work for them are more important than bringing in money.
And your community.
Like,
you have a responsibility, and that's ultimately what it comes down to, is like, after this is all over, like, that's 400 people from my Instagram post that won't visit certain breweries in Orange County again.
I've had people hit me up.
That's a lot of people.
I've had people hit me up that are outside of the Inland Empire, from posts that I've made, and they're like, "Who are these breweries?" Like, so we can put them on our list to not visit them. And I'm not going to blast them online.
No.
And so I tell them, I'm like, these are the breweries I've seen, and I don't know what every single brewery in the Inland Empire are doing, but this is what I've seen online, and do what you will with that information.
Go to Instagram, do search, click on the location, search for the brewery's location, click on the recent tab, and you can see, hey, there's Joe Blow who's having a pint on the patio. And like, hey, we're all here with our huge 10-person group on their patio and blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, just are we sick of this yet? I am.
San Diego's in a tough spot because, like I said, I saw Churchill's Pub and Grill. They're like, we're open for indoor and outdoor dining. And I know they're responsible there, but they're also desperate to bring in money. And I was just like, God damn it. Like, this sucks.
What I mean, we've probably gone down the rabbit hole a little too far, but I would say like that it's really like as a business. I can't speak because I'm not like one of these business owners, and I can see both sides, and I have my own personal view and my own moral belief in it. But like it's hard because you think about it, like everybody's been so like the entire country has been let down by its leadership, and you get to a point where like whichever side you're on, like you end up having to just do what you can do for yourself. And
take a risk.
some people are taking the risk, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I also don't want to say like I can see where some people are coming from, but it's like it's not worth it right now. It's
easy to pretend their actions don't have consequences because it's not like somebody's going back and figuring out that the next COVID person who fucking died got it because all these assholes all caught it when they went to such and such shitty brewery. But the reality is the consequence of this is that people are getting a disease that kills them. Like, it's not just like, well, I figured it'd be good to be open and we're probably fine. Well, yeah. Easy to tell yourself that because nobody's going back and forensically figuring out that
contact tracing is bullshit right now.
Fucking 25 people because they decided to open last Friday.
Yeah,
but the reality is that's happening, and just closing a blind eye to it to get a month's worth of fucking of the worst people in the world's no tips because you told them to put their mask up once, like, go fuck off.
So I'll say one more thing. Somebody who produces a beer festival every year, if I had a beer fest that, suppose 600 people come to FerkFest every year, which is about our average. If one person dies because of that beer festival, it's on I wouldn't sleep. Look at the numbers, like according to 1%, 1.42 or something like that would possibly. What if somebody that's serving has it and is, dude, it's on me.
Yeah, exactly. It's the okay. I'm just gonna
back away. We should wrap it up because we could talk.
I still have one more beer.
Yeah, let's just move on. I opened my next beer, everyone, please. And my next beer is a collab between Pure Project and North Park, which I mean, you can't go wrong with that, right?
No, that's it. Based off of our experience with North Park, I'm excited to hear about this.
Yeah, this is Mindless Philosopher. This is
pretty
India Pale Ale, or they call it a Milky
nice logo,
a Milky IPA. I have been enjoying this beer quite a bit over the last couple days, and it is fantastic.
Beauty.
Oh, for the people listening who didn't see the video, I tried to fix that fruit beer with tequila, but then there was too much tequila, and then I put more fruit beer in it. But the next layer was like way chunkier. Like there's way more shit for a fruit beer that I had.
I would have gone with rum myself.
But rum would have been a better choice, actually. Yeah,
it's more
rum
tea,
with fruit,
right?
Yeah, go for the tiki vibe. Throw some crushed ice in there.
But that chunky fruit with the tequila worked out pretty well and fixed it. But it's just too fucking sweet. It feels like it needs to be mixed with something else. It's like if you're making a cocktail, this beer is what you would mix with spirits because there's no fucking alcohol in it.
Water it down somehow and
put it over crushed ice.
Palatable,
as someone who has an insane sweet tooth, like I'm definitely like I was the candy fiend. I got to a point where the sweet IPAs just were like too much. So I can feel you on that, Jason.
Smackers. It'll give you the beatus.
And the man boob.
God.
And I opened up my last Green Cheek. This is a collab with our pals up in San Francisco, the Cellar Maker Brewing Company. And this is Soma Aroma. And wow, is it hoppy. I think they've packed more hops into each square inch of this can than I've ever had. It's very sort of bursting out at the top. I think it's Simcoe, Amarillo, and some hop I've never heard of.
Wait, did you say that's the Cellar Maker collab?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. That's the one there.
I've actually got a Cellar Maker shipment in my fridge right now.
No, I'm sorry. It's Nelson, Simcoe, and Talus.
Talus.
I've never had Talus before.
Interesting.
But the Nelson is very strong in this beer. It's like it's diesel-y. It's sort of harsh. If you love a good hop bite, this is like just biting you back, just bursting fruity vibes out of there. It smells like just a fresh bag of hops.
I mean, Green Cheek and Cellar Maker collaborating, it's got to be fantastic when it comes to like a hoppy beer, right?
It's no joke. It's literally like what was the beer from Russian River, Happy Hops, where it's like you poured it and just like, holy shit, like I've never had that much hops in a beer before. It's literally like that. Very green, fresh, dank hops.
Speaking of Sonoma, my wife and I were enjoying some alcoholic eggnog from Death and Company, which is a cocktail bar based out of New York, but they're down in Arts District as well, and they're doing to-go orders. The eggnog was amazing, but we were having it, and she's like, maybe we should watch something festive while we have our eggnog. So I was like, okay, let's go to Netflix. What ridiculous movie can I watch? And we ended up watching A California Christmas.
There you go.
And it was very predictable and very in line with what you'd expect from a Netflix-produced holiday movie.
Movie called A California Christmas?
I believe that.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. It was
Oh my God! How did you get here in time for Christmas? Well,
I took the 405 to the 101.
It was your yeah, exactly. But it was your extremely predictable holiday movie with unfortunate circumstances, hide your identity, fall in love, identity gets revealed, everybody's upset. Somehow in the end, you win the girl back, etc., etc. But anyway,
did you enjoy it though?
I mean, it was okay. It was.
Gotta be better than that KFC thing.
I did not watch that, but I was curious.
Oh man, that sounds rough.
Talk about like
really
that is some of the best marketing. Like that blew up for like 2 days online, and I'm like,
I thought it was
bravo.
a joke, but it wasn't.
KFC, well, they're pretty good at going viral with like basically joke shit. Like they had like a KFC perfumes or some shit one year, and like their stuff tends to do pretty well. I think the Lifetime movie is one of their more inspired ones, but they're just like, we're gonna make some goofy joke shit. We know nobody takes us seriously, and it'll still get people be like, I'd go for some chicken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I want some chicken and coleslaw and those mashed potatoes.
Yeah, KFC chicken is so good, but I haven't had it in 8 years or something.
No, I don't like fried chicken, so
get out of here.
Fried chicken.
You're not welcome on the show anymore.
Raising Cane's all right. I'm not gonna wait fucking 30 minutes for it though.
Dude, here's a pro tip: get the app, stay in the parking lot, order it, walk in, grab it, and you're gone in like 5 minutes.
Hey, that's what I do at Shake Shack.
That works every time. There's like 40 or 50 cars in line, or you can just pull up, order it on your phone, and walk in and grab it. Anyways, going back to the cocktail, the Death and Company thing, they do have one of the best cocktail books on the market. Yeah. If you're cocktail curious, pick that up, and also the cocktail codex.
Yeah, we have a copy of that, I believe. We literally took so my brother-in-law, he's huge into like craft cocktails and works in kind of like he works in the restaurant industry. He basically manages like a club and a bar, and so he's really into it. And my wife is super into cocktails, so We ended up going to New York last year, and my wife and brother-in-law went to the Death & Co. down there, and yeah, like it was really funny because they're like, oh, we're gonna go to New York, and that's definitely on the list. And then when we got back, we're like, oh shit, they're opening a Death & Co. in LA like in a week.
I think they have one in Vegas too.
No, it's in Denver.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah. But
Of
anyway,
all places.
yeah, they have some. We got their eggnog and their hot toddy, and both are excellent.
Nice. Going back to the beer from Pure Project and North Park, I think this is one of the best hazy IPAs I've ever had. It's got the best elements of, I think, a West Coast and hazy hybrid that you could want in a beer. It's got a really big, fluffy mouthfeel, but it's not it's not burning the back of your throat. It's not acrid. It's slightly fruity, but not overwhelming. It smells fantastic. It smells fluffy. I've said that before. That's more of like a thing where you get like fruit flavor or fruit aromas in the aroma, and also like a malt, like sweet bread kind of thing, like Hawaiian honey bread kind of thing. It's fantastic. It looks really, really hazy. Like if you look at the in the video, it's definitely murky, but it's definitely not minerally, not taxing to drink. It's very enjoyable. It's one of the best hazies I've had in a long time.
Speaking of hazies, so my last beer is a brewery who I haven't had in a while. I weirdly have a wooden sign of them through a series of mishaps with a trip to Firestone and Dr. Bill.
Yeah.
I have a wooden
epic
sign of Casa Agria, but Casa
No,
Agria.
I have that sign, Jason.
Oh, you have it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the studio right now.
There you go. This is Transitions. Yeah, there you go. Transitions and Interludes. A really cool looking can. I just like this metallic, like kind of minimal metallic print pine trees thing. Just really cool looking. It grabbed my eye on the shelf. I literally just went to a place that had a wall of cans and just kind of got what grabbed my eye. So what's interesting about this, it's a hazy IPA brewed with wheat and oats, features Galaxy in the dry hop with Michigan-grown Chinook for a pineapple surprise. I have never heard Chinook as a pineapple hop.
No.
But it's also grown in a weird region, so it might taste weird, just like getting Cascade from California tastes weird. And then Motueka for a lemon lime brightness. So this is very much a hazy boy. It's very white in color, pretty opaque. It's not murky though. It still kind of has a brightness.
It looks pretty murky to me. That looks very dense.
It's dense, but it doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like there's like sediment in it sucking up all the light.
Got it. Okay, yeah. it's not a black hole hazy.
Yeah. And
black hole hazy.
This is a surprisingly solid beer. I guess not surprisingly, Casa Agria is actually a good brewery.
But I never thought they'd make a hazy. That's kind of crazy.
That's their thing, man.
Crazy hazy.
Casa
Crazy
Agria?
hazy.
No, they've done hazies from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of what they're known for.
Mm-hmm.
Hazies and fruited sours. That was kind of their thing.
Okay. I had no idea. All right.
I Casa Agria with you.
God damn it. I love you, Greg. Don't ever change. Yeah, it's just got a good hop flavor. It doesn't have that like the hops are bright. They pop. Like they have a real character to it. It's still pretty low bitterness, and it does have that kind of smooth mouthfeel. But the hops are still allowed to kind of have a character, and I think they pulled off doing what people want in a hazy IPA, and then what people like me want in an IPA that isn't super sweet. And I think it probably could appeal to both crowds. This is a really well done beer. So
Nice.
good job, Casa Agria.
Where'd you pick that up?
Don't want to call them out.
Ah, that place. Okay.
Yeah.
I know where you got it.
Yeah.
Dude, this Soma Aroma thing, it's like a hop cone was in a dunk tank at a carnival.
Yes.
And dude, I'm just burping hops over here. Literally just like
I was burping hops while you said
Mylar bag. I'm like a Mylar bag of hops right now, literally. As a human being.
Some of the best IPAs are the ones that smell like you opened a bag of hops. Like if you're a home brewer, you know what that smells like.
I'd let you
Dude,
breathe on my page for
I
that.
would probably gag on this, but it's very like abrasively hoppy.
just Greg going to the family like, stay away from me, guys. I'm a bag of hops right now.
So Tim, I think you have one beer left, right?
Yep, I'm rounding out right now. We have Cali Day IPA. This is coming from Tarantula Hill, which is actually based out of Thousand Oaks, which I did not know. I spend a lot of time up in Ventura County.
Never heard of this brewery. Yeah,
I feel like I'd heard of them, but just never had anything. The name, again, it sounded familiar. I've seen that logo around. But yeah, so this is they call it a crushable lighter IPA. It's got laurel and mosaic hops in it. The aroma comes off fairly nice. It's very nicely balanced. It's got just kind of like your nice light IPA aroma. It's got a good sort of basic, I don't want to say hoppy flavor, but it doesn't stick around too long. And I'm not gonna put negative on that because they call out that it is a lighter crushable IPA.
Okay.
So it's pretty smooth. It's not like you're getting overwhelmed by any bitterness. It's there, you get it, and then it's kind of gone. So you can just kind of dive right back in and just keep crushing it, I guess.
Tarantula Hill, yeah, never heard of this brewery.
Cool logo.
Yeah, the logo's great, and I like this can art. It's like splatter art kind of thing. Looks textured though. It looks kind of like a textured like wall, if that makes any sense, like a textured drywall kind of thing.
Yeah,
it looks really cool. And is there like a butterfly on the side?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a monarch kind of hanging out over here on the side.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looks like a shark attack with all like there's blood in the water or something.
Well, yeah.
Hanging out. But yeah, I feel like I'd heard of them, but never really kind of put it together, and definitely never had it. So it's kind of cool to discover a new one. I hadn't had any of the breweries I had today, and so it was cool to just kind of play around and see what else was out there.
Yeah, our friends from Hopped LA say it's ex-Stone Brewers. That helmed it. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of ex-Stone Brewers out in the world, but, making some pretty good beers up there. Worth checking out.
Yeah, this as much as we, I don't see we hate on Stone, but we criticize Stone quite a bit. It still remains that they're one of the best breweries in Southern California, and the brewers that come out of Stone will likely open their own breweries that are going to be pretty fantastic.
Yeah, so. I would say if you're looking for a very, just a nice sort of, I don't want to say lightly hopped, but just your standard hopped light crushable IPA, like this is a pretty solid go-to. Nice.
We lost.
I think overall, we had a good spread of beers on this show. It's a good way to end 2020. I think we have one more show we're gonna do, but it might come out in 2021. I don't know.
Wow,
I've got quite the backlog.
Time travel.
Great beers, great show. You guys have a happy New Year. Stay safe. Everyone listening, please wear your masks, be safe, do the right thing, but also support your local breweries and do what you can to, keep them open, I guess. And that being said, we'll see you guys next year.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Did you have anything else to say, Jason? I'm sorry. I thought you...
Jason's line.
I just had to pee.
Oh, okay.
He's like, peace, bro.
You guys can stop recording if you want.
I don't want to. I'm going to record all day.
All right. Yeah, Hopped LA. I've never heard of Tarantula Hill. That's
it. I didn't want to. I did check their Instagram in terms of the whole verification thing, and it looks like they're only 2 to go. Which, based off of shit that's happening in Thousand Oaks and the demographic that makes up that area, is nice to see because it's kind of surprising.
Is like Thousand Oaks conservative-ish kind of
It's your
rich people?
big house, fancy car on the credit card, wannabe fanciness.
Okay.
I mean, they had a 500-person caroling crew at the local mall the other night.
Yeah, that's
Please don't sing. Don't sing around me. Thank you.
Anyway, needless to say,
way to spread holiday COVID is to sing aloud for all to hear. It's my elf.
I Casa agree with you. Did you see that?
yeah, I think my favorite from the comments was I'm scrolling back up to try and find it. It was from Max Power, of course. Where did you put it? Come on. Berliner, I hardly knew her. That's my favorite takeaway of the day. Also, without a gout.
Speaking of gout, how's that going, Greg?
Good, man. I take my medication every day, and every time we have a show, I check my levels, and I'm always good. So
nice, awesome.
If I'm ever not good, then I won't be on the show. But
Greg just starts in the morning, and he's like, "Gout, let it all out."
This is the thing I could do without. Come on.
I'm still nervous about drinking like a hazy beer.
How do you check How do you check gout levels?
I bought a thing that does check uric acid levels.
So you on a stick?
No, you prick. I have to do a blood strip thing.
Got it.
But it sucks, but it's nice to know where you're at.
Yeah, for sure.
Does it hurt when you prick your finger?
Yeah, there's like a little gun. You put it up to your finger and it just goes doink. It sticks like a fresh. There's a fresh needle pack I have just for doing those.
It's just like
rip off the tip and.
It's like the equivalent of like a blood sugar test, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sucks, but whatever. I'd rather know I can have a beer that day and not be able to walk. Not be able to walk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, gout sucks, man. If anybody ever needs their uric acid level checked, come on over.
For some reason, that sent me down a mental rabbit hole about some weird Marilyn Manson lyrics. But there's a Marilyn Manson song that has a whole thing that's like, prick your finger and it's done. So I was like, what song is that? It's called Crypt Orchid. I haven't heard it since the 90s. Probably going to listen to it after this podcast, see if it's still good.
See if he's got gout.
Yeah.
Now I'm craving fried chicken.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yum.
The only fried chicken I've ever really liked is hot chicken.
Yeah. There's a new spot, not new, but they've been open up in North Hollywood forever. Dave's Hot Chicken is opening up locally to me next week.
Like, usually if I have fried chicken, I just peel the breading and skin off and then just eat the chicken.
Get out of here.
Really?
No way, dude.
Yeah,
That's tasty fried chicken, man.
Yeah, that's why I don't get fried chicken. I don't want all that shit.
That's half the fun of fried chicken.
I mean, it's literally all the fun of fried chicken. But that's why I don't want fried chicken. I just rather get.
I mean, I knew IE people were weird, but that goes above and beyond what weird IE people eat.
Here, like fried chicken.
Didn't you hear
the fried food that much?
Chicken tenders would be.
The breading is the democratic control mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. They put the chip in the breading, and that's how the 5G gets you.
George Soros told me.
That's right.
Jason's gonna go take a nap on his MyPillow.
The only pillow designed by a crackhead.
God. I was gonna mention when we were talking about Spotify, but we got too far off into podcast. But I came across, funny enough, on TikTok, this guy who put together a 2000s punk emo playlist, and it's basically been on rotation for me for a while. The cover image is the original Tom from MySpace profile image.
Dude, did I ever tell you guys? So when I was actively dating, Tom from MySpace lived in Orange County. This was in like 2005. Yeah. And at the time, you could post on people's OkCupid like wall, which is weird for a dating site. But they had a feature on OkCupid in 2005 where you could just be like, hey, I checked in. And Tom from MySpace would always post on girls' walls, girls I was trying to date. And I'm like,
Oh, no chance.
With Tom from MySpace for girls. So yeah, we were in the same general OkCupid circles. So he seemed pretty chill. I remember he had a Google Plus that was pretty popular for a while, just because he was the most famous person on Google Plus, probably.
Google Plus, man.
Oh Lord, that was just another pain in the ass social network I had to update.
It was a good idea, but yeah, it was a pain in the ass. Yeah,
It was when you let a bunch of engineers build a social network.
pretty much. Yeah.
I think I uploaded. There we go.
Dude, this Casa Gria IPA is surprisingly good. Like, I'm just finishing it on my own volition, which most hazies I wouldn't.
I don't know that I've heard anything bad about them. And it's one of those breweries that I literally am within, I don't know, easy driving distance of whenever I go up to Oxnard or Ventura, but I've never been there. And I've never had their beer.
Oh, that occurs to me. I'm doing a building in Oxnard next year. Oh, fuck. I shouldn't say that on the internet. Whatever.
I didn't say, I mean, what you're doing a building for.
I'm going to be doing a project in Oxnard. So if I have to drive out to it, which I hope not to very often because that's a bullshit drive. But
it's a bullshit drive even from me. So good luck.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to be on site that much, hopefully.
Okay, well, if you do Casa Agria and I don't know, I know we have like our current standards and rules, so I don't want to speak for everyone, but I know institutions out there, I'm not sure what they're doing. I think they've been doing to go, but Institution Ale House, they have some pretty good stuff.
I would say, honestly, the breweries being shitty seems to be the exception. At least if they're being shitty, they're being low-key about it. But there's like a certain subset of breweries that seem to be John, we can kind of see your email in the little thing. Just
I'm looking for a Bad Religion show.
Okay, just letting you know. I don't want you to pull up something private and we accidentally see it down there.
No, there's a Bad Religion show coming up at 2:00, and I'm looking for my link.
Quick, everyone!
A show, or are they doing like a Christmas thing?
Holzer picks.
They did. They recorded 4 shows at the Roxy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 80s, 90s, 10 or aughts and 10s.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So last weekend was 80s. This weekend is 90s. Next weekend is aughts. The weekend following in 2021 is 10s. So
that's awesome.
Jimmy,
I was in here last weekend singing to songs and like on cloud 9, dude. It was so fucking great. And they went out of their way to like redesign the songs for modern Bad Religion, if that makes sense. Like if you listen to 80s Bad Religion, it's very kind of sloppy and underproduced and not great. But they added like some cool solos and licks and stuff, and they perfected the 80s songs. So I'm really excited to see what they do with like the 90s stuff, because the 90s stuff is good, but it could be better. And yeah, this whole COVID thing is like making bands. It's forcing bands to rethink ways to make money, and I'm here for it.
There was like
so cool.
When this first started, I came across one random site that was like, we're going to do like pay for digital broadcast concerts. And I was like, wow, that's actually kind of smart. And I'm like, fucking everyone's doing it.
I think it's under oath. Was it
Under Oath did
Punk Rock MBA.
That MBA is posted about Under Oath. What was sad about that though?
He did 3 shows and made $800,000 online.
But if they did
That's
the math,
crazy.
he's like, yeah, that's $12,000 per member of the band after everything. I was like, holy shit, they made almost $1 million, and each guy in a 5-man band took home $12,000.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. But where'd all the rest go?
Paying for all the shit, the venue and like the 1 million people that got to get paid.
It's like with Newfound Glory, when they do something online, their tickets are like $10 to $15, and I'm happy to give them $10 to $15.
Yeah.
But then they sell packages with like shirts and stuff, and I'll spend $60 on a ticket to support their show online and then buy their merch because like Under Oath is way bigger than Newfound Glory, and I'm sure Newfound Glory is not struggling right now, but they could be in a lot. They could be doing a lot better if they could tour. And so I'm happy to give them that money.
Yeah,
we Bad Religion.
Contact for mid-level bands, or like Lamb of God, who in the metal scene is one of the bigger bands that you could get.
I've heard of them.
The singer of Lamb of God was on trial for murder.
Yeah.
He shoved a dude off a stage, and the dude like hit his head and died. Like a dude rushed the stage. He shoved him. The dude like fell and died. And the country that it happened isn't like the Czech Republic or some shit. And they held him for murder. But in the trial, he came out. He didn't get convicted of murder, thankfully. But cause I think it's kind of horseshit. Yeah. For like dude rushes, I shoved him. He hit his head and died. It's
like involuntary manslaughter, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it would be here.
But what they said in the trial was that dude made like $275,000 a year. And so you're the singer of Lamb of God, who is upper echelon metal band, and you're making good money, but not crazy money.
Yeah.
And so you got to figure like a mid-level band, it's got to be
like Under Oath. And then like Newfound Glory, who's not, I think maybe in the pop punk scene, they're like dominant, but in the overall music scene, they're sub mid, definitely. And my $15 ticket for their Christmas show, I'm sure they're going to release an album with all those songs because they recorded like 8 original Christmas songs, and they'll be fine. But like what they make each, like yesterday, $5,000 each, which sounds like a lot of money, but when you spread it out over the last,
it doesn't taxes like a lot of money. Yeah, you got to pay tax on that. Like,
no,
you're getting half, so it's $2,500.
It's, I mean, you just tack any sort of performer onto the like people who are fucking struggling right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually one of the websites that I've been involved with a lot lately is doing it's a couple of guys that used to be at Cracked back when Cracked was good.
You mentioned this.
They're doing a Patreon only site where they have free articles like once a week, but the vast majority of their content is Patreon gated. And then they have other tiers where, like, if you're at the higher tier, they do a movie stream every month that you can watch with them and everything. And it's a cool model. I'm trying to support it and be like, hopefully this is viable, but they're pretty open about it in their chats and stuff, where they're just like, yeah, I mean, we're not like where they're at right now. They're making they're actually doing fairly well, but if you do the math, you're like, well, on how much money it takes for 2 different people, there's 2 main guys to make a living. Yeah, if your Patreon, their Patreon's making $8,700 a month.
Yeah,
which sounds like a lot till you think that's the sole source of income for 2 different people.
Well, also think about like Newfound Glory. When they tour, they have a touring staff that they have roadies and stuff. They have merch people. Like there's a whole infrastructure behind making NFG a touring band. And yeah, the band, themselves may be making money off these live streams because maybe they hire a couple camera people, or, there's 10 people total they have to divide the money between. But when they tour, that's like 30 people that get that money. And those people depend on those shows to make their living. And when they're not touring, those people that set up, their equipment and I don't know, on the back end, negotiate with venues and prices and stuff, and like the accountants and it's just gone because you don't need them and they're not getting paid. So $15 for their Christmas show, it was 2 hours long and it was fun. It was highly produced. It was great. It was what you would expect from Newfound Glory, being goofy and fun. But I think they could have doubled the price. They should have.
Yeah,
people that need the money beyond the band.
two things. Yeah, we did a we didn't watch it live, but it was a pre-recorded thing. So it was pre-recorded. We paid like, I don't know, $15 or $20 for like a Dawes concert where they played like their first album in its entirety, and they did it like outdoors at like the high school they went to, which was pretty cool. So it was totally worth it. I mean, granted, it was just like, it's basically like renting a movie for $15 is what it more or less came down to. But it was like a performance.
Right.
But Jason, to your point, dude, you mentioned like two guys trying to make a living off of a site, Patreon driven, and all that stuff. I have experience. I know how that goes. Like when we were in the early days of building Untapped, like we had a million plus people on there, and it still wasn't, even with like subscribers and supporters, like it wasn't enough for us to go full time to support ourselves. We still had to have our own jobs. Like we had full-time jobs. So like it's not easy to do that. So,
and it's tricky too for me, where I'm like, dude, I really dig what these guys are doing. Like, I'm trying to evangelize it to people, and people are like, "I got to pay though."
But see, and what's different is like we built an app that kind of ran itself, and they're making original content, I'm assuming.
Right.
And like,
yeah.
You got a lot more that goes into making original content than just coding some servers to do some shit over and over again.
Yep. And that's bands that are successful. And like, I'm sure there's a lot of like local independent musicians and bands that do pretty well for themselves, like just doing local gigs and stuff. And they're just dead in the water.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean,
they're all packing up and going to San Diego right now.
I don't blame them. I mean, but yeah, we can get back into that talk. But yeah, shit's so fucked up right now. It's
utter. I mean, Los Angeles County is literally the worst place in the world right now. So
I didn't think that would be the case, and we are the deadliest place in the world to be right now, and that's fucking weird.
Yep.
I've had a bunch of people on my teams at work.
I'm so sorry, by the way.
Go out sick. I mean, nobody's, everyone's recovered and they're fine, but I'm just like, fuck, dude. It feels like the noose is closing in, Like,
yeah, for sure.
I test every week now. They give us free testing. So
for the longest time, like I obviously, like we've been, you're well aware of the precautions that we took, and like we definitely loosened up on that as the research came out, and like we read more medical studies and new things that actually were researched and proven. So like we lightened up a bit on things, but it was always like a third or fourth degree of separation between me and people that I knew that had had it. And then recently it was a like 1 degree of separation with someone. And I was like, okay,
a close friend, his grandmother died. And then we've had a ton of cases at work.
I can imagine. Like
so I had 3 people in one building, and I'm like, if we're spreading it here, I'm going to be real fucking upset.
Yeah.
But 2 of the 3, it was not them. It was like their roommate or their family member. So I was like, well, okay, at least they're not getting sick here, because I would feel fucking terrible if people were getting sick at my building. Like, I try, man. People they don't fucking take it seriously, man. Like, they're just like, a dude was like, yeah, the first wave, one of the guys is like, oh, the first wave, nobody got it. I didn't know anybody that got it, but this one, a bunch of people I know. And I'm still like, dude, cover your nose. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I mean,
mask off your nose. Like, you're sitting here and be like, wow, it's crazy how many people I know are getting COVID. And then it's like, fucking pull your thing up, dude. What the fuck?
It's just I mean, it's all been just like a giant fail. Like, as I don't want to, sorry, I will probably go too deep into this, but just as the greatest country in the world, I feel like we're the failest country in the world when it comes to this right now.
Well, it comes down to, we elected the worst person to run the country, and the worst thing that could have happened during the worst person in the country running the country.
What we're seeing is In crises like this, the federal government is really what's needed. The states have limited power and authority, and the states can't create money where the federal government can, right? So when the federal government completely abdicates their responsibility, it basically hamstrings the entire rest of the fucking country.
And I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but like I'm very satisfied with the way that our state and local government has. There have been some slip ups, but like I'm on board with the fact that like things.
I feel like they did a pendulum early on, where California closed down earliest, which helped. And then they're like, cool, we're good. Let's just swing it wide open again. Rather than like gradually doing everything. In like May of this year, California is just like, all right, we got this thing beat. Fuck it. Everyone go to the beach.
I don't think it was necessarily, we got this thing beat. I think what happened was all the protests for George Floyd happened. And at that point, you're just like, well, everyone's going out anyway. We're fucked either way. So we may as well try and like make people feel a little more comfortable. Like, I feel like that had to have been said somewhere.
I mean, a little more dead. Like, if they would have just stayed the course, we would have been doing a lot better. But instead, we swung to the other way. Like, okay, all the people who are mad, let's give them what they want now.
Yeah, it's hard.
What they want is spreading a pandemic.
I'm not about to blame protesters for George Floyd.
No.
Doing this. I'm not saying you're saying that, Tim.
I don't blame them for the spread. And I'm not saying that there's any blame. I'm just saying like I'm in full support of everyone who is out there doing that.
I think what you're saying is the protesters gave people that are anti-lockdown and anti-mask an out to say, look, these people can do this, so why can't we eat at a restaurant?
You would have done that no matter what, though.
Well, I think it was just a point of saying like, this happened. Like, there's no way you can legitimately, unless they send somebody out to guard, let's send National Guard out to every street to like lock people down. Like, there's no stopping it. Like, there's literally no way to keep people.
What it comes down to is people doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And like, I'm doing the right thing. I think we all are doing the right thing. And what gets glamorized are the people doing the wrong thing. And that's what becomes the dominant, I don't know, the story, the feeling of California, because news is going to focus on the assholes doing asshole things.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than, I mean, it's kind of boring to interview someone like me. What have you been doing during the lockdown? Nothing.
I went to a restaurant
going home. Like, if I could teleconference to fix an elevator, I would, but I have to literally be there to like fix it, so I can't. But outside of that, like, I have a boring life, and luckily I have a podcast where I can do this once a week. But outside of that, it's boring. And
yeah, I mean, my normal small talk at work with like the people I work with, I'll be like, "So what do you got going on this weekend?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, nothing." And like, if you don't have nothing going on, then I'm like,
Even for Thanksgiving, like the dude that my contact at UCR, he's like, "Oh, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?" I'm like, sitting in my house with my wife
and some tofu.
That's pretty much it.
I just paid for Discord Nitro, and I'm drunk with power using all the emoji. Okay,
why did you pay for Discord Nitro? Because maybe I want to do that too.
Just to use emojis from custom emojis anywhere.
Oh, dude, you're gonna make me want to do it.
It's $10 a month, which I thought it was $5.
That's so expensive.
Whatever.
Oh, man. Well, I will say, doing the show and keeping in touch with you guys has obviously been a huge mental health benefit. So I appreciate it.
What?
And
of course, like
you guys are. I have one or two very close friends who basically do nothing and will come hang out here occasionally. But otherwise, you guys are the only people I see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember like early on, like Tim, you did the whole hangout thing, which was really cool. I enjoyed that, but it kind of died out, and it's almost like these things need to make a resurgence.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was considering that. It was I think for me it was it was because I had cut down on my beer, and
Sure. No, I
it
get
was
it,
like
yeah.
a back-to-back day, so I kind of cut it out. But yeah, I mean, for sure, it needs to at some point make a resurgence because we're kind of like
we had talked about for patrons, me and Jason, you can do video streams in Patreon, or I'm sorry,
cool.
in Discord.
Mhm.
And we thought about doing like a movie thing in Discord for patrons,
Mhm.
where
Which
like,
I stole straightly from the hot dog site, by the way. They're doing that tonight at 5. They do once a month. They do a Discord movie stream where you chat along with the gang.
I'm for that. Like if
It sounds fun. I mean, it is fun. We watched the most batshit fucking movie I've ever seen. The thing is, though, so Kyle in the chat throws out 4B riff tracks. The thing with doing the Discord stream is, I suppose you could pipe in everyone's audio, but not necessarily. They do it just chat based, where it's just like we're all in the chat bullshitting and riffing on the movie, which is kind of fun.
So is there like a sync point in the chat for the movie?
No, like one of the people
now.
turns on their video stream, and their video stream is the movie, and they're the only one allowed to stream because they're like the owner of it.
that might actually be fun with some
They
really
stream
shitty
the movie,
movies.
and then everyone in the chat watches it and talks about it.
We should
So
definitely
there's
talk
no
more about
audio chat.
No audio, just video, just chat.
So the video has the audio for the movie, but the chat is just like text-based chat.
Yep.
That's kind of fun.
I'm not against that.
Yeah. I gotta.
I'll see.
If I could somehow make it work with audio.
Ones, would you guys go to it?
I'm sorry, I talked over you. What did you say?
I was gonna say Kyle and Leninade are here. They're day ones. They're the kind of people who would go to that sort of thing. You guys want to watch some Discord movies with us? We'd have to figure out how to pipe the movie into the Discord.
Yeah.
But it seems reasonable.
I'm down to check it out for sure. But
I'm sure I can make that happen very easily.
let's definitely talk about that. I gotta take off, but that sounds really cool.
All right, Tim.
All right, guys, and everyone,
Have a good
stay
weekend.
safe. Take it easy.
We're doing next Sunday, correct?
Sunday.
Oh, hey, I have a Josh Groban stream today.
Oh, have fun.
It's my third one. It'll be great. Josh Groban.
Jason's doing Josh Groban. I'm doing Bad Religion. Tim, what are you doing?
Nothing.
I'm gonna do that to Flex so he could be like, I'm more hard than Jason. I'm watching Bad Religion because I'm a G. Jason's watching Josh Groban.
I'm not. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye, Tim.
See ya.
Jason, I'm gonna head out.
Cheese, bro.
Later, man.
All right, talk to you later.